This is a top prime, single shot, bullpup style blaster with a neat little feature, a flashbang kind of. Let's go ahead and get to the review, starting with the front. On the front, we do not have an end strike barrel load, as this is a front loading blaster, and you can easily just load in darts from the front up here. Speaking of the cylinder, it rotates on trigger pull a lot like the Maverick, but you pull it back and it rotates halfway, and then it pops back forward and rotates the rest. Above that, we have a single end strike tactical rail to put on objects of your choice. And behind all that, we have the priming handle to prime this blaster. Pull back, let go, and then you're ready to fire once. And then going behind that, we have the stock. This is a fixed in place stock. It's not adjustable, not removable. The stock is quite long, it's quite comfortable. I know people like to take Fireflies and they take the stock off. They cut from here and then take the stock and they put it on like a long shot, because the stock on the Firefly is very comfortable. On the stock, we have the Fireflies dart holders on the stock to hold a 4 on each side, which holds 8 rounds, which is the capacity of the revolver. But this does not work very well with elite darts or X shots. They just fall kind of through, because it was meant to use whistlers or suctions, which have bigger heads and they can kind of just stay in place. Under that, we have a sling mount, which we also have a sling mount here. And then we have the thumb hole stock. I'm not generally a thumb hole stock fan, but this one's quite large and comfortable. I don't have any problems with it. And then above all that, we have a switch. This switch is for the integrated light. So you flip that on. You need to have batteries, 2 AA batteries to be exact. Flip that on, and then you have to wait, and then the flashbang comes on. We'll get to that in a moment, like showing you how it works. And then going down the grip's quite large and chunky. It's nice and comfortable for my hand. It'd definitely be comfortable for an adult's hand. And then going down to the trigger was pretty standard. This blaster does not have slam fire. That concludes the external overview of the Nerf Edge Strike Firefly. Let's go ahead and get to the flash test. It is quite dark in here, but first we're going to be testing the flash, so let's go ahead and turn it on. You'll see that red light. That's how you know the blaster flash is on. You wait a second, and then, oh wow! And this is with brand new AA's. This is quite bright. But if you go too fast, it needs a second to recharge. It takes 2 seconds to recharge, and then you can fire. And what this was for is, it came with glow-in-the-dark suction darts, and that would make them glow. And then when they hit walls, they glow and stuff. It's pretty cool, but this flash isn't enough to power it very well. Let's go ahead and get to the firing test. I don't have any suction tip, whistlers, or dart taggers. So first we're going to be shooting 8 blue Nerf Elite darts. Now some orange with black tip 0 X shot darts. Go ahead and see the ranges for both of those types of darts. I'm not expecting very good ranges, as this is an end strike blaster. The box advertises 35 feet, and our lowest shot is sitting at about 25 to 30, maybe 35 feet, so not very far. And then we'll call the middle here another Nerf Elite dart sitting at about 35 feet, because that's about 30, so that's about 25, so this is about 35 feet. And then our highest shots are about maybe 40 feet. So you're not getting very good ranges with this blaster, but I'm sure if you take out the air restrictors, you can get quite good ranges, as this is a direct plunger blaster. Now to the pros and cons of the Firefly, starting with the pros. The feel of the blaster. The feel is quite comfortable. I do like the grip. It's big and chunky, even though I have, yeah, you can call me a little girl. I have small hands. It's still comfortable. I love the stock. The stock is so comfortable to just rest. Even though there's no really cheek rest, you can just kind of hold it like this or shoot it from the hip. I don't know why you do that when you have such a comfortable big stock. Also, I like the position of the priming handle. Now, some people, I know a lot of people will disagree with me on this, but I don't really like the position of the Recon or Retaliator barrel. I mean, Retaliator priming handle, not a barrel, I'm sorry about that. And priming it, it's not very comfortable. I don't really like priming the Recon or the Retaliator. But priming the Firefly, it's quite comfortable. It's just in such a perfect position. I can wrap my thumb around here, put the rest of my fingers here. It's like exactly what it was meant for. And it's very comfortable for me. I know for some people it's gonna be a little bit weird and a little bit tight, but for me it's comfortable. And the stock is comfortable. I like the idea. The stock's comfortable. I like the dart holders. Even though they don't really work really well with Elite or X shots, they work well with Whistlers or Taggers from what I've heard. Now to the cons of the blaster. Performance. Performance is a very, very big important type thing in Nerf. And this has very, very poor performance in today's standards. Now, Nerf Elite blasters, Ultra supposedly is shooting 120 feet. We're barely getting 70 feet out of it. Elite blasters like the Fire Strike or the Charm, I'm getting at least 50 to 60 feet. I'm only getting 35 to 40 feet as you saw in the firing test. So performance on this blaster is not very good. Also, one thing I don't like is the trigger pull. It's a little bit sloppy, a lot like the Maverick. The Maverick's even worse than this. It's rotating the cylinder on trigger pull, as you can see. So it's also a little bit clicky because it's if you have the light on, it's flashing like that. So it's a little bit sloppy, not very comfortable. So I don't really like the trigger on the Firefly. But do I recommend the Firefly? Absolutely not. I know that sounds so rude to the Firefly. I love the look of this blaster. It looks so cool. Even today, I bet you in 2005 this thing was pretty cool. But I don't really recommend it because of the performance. I don't really like the trigger. That's kind of just a gripe about it. But performance is very important, and this doesn't have very good performance. But for shell integrations, I've seen people cut the back. Right here, they start cutting, and then they take the stock and slap it onto something like a long shot, which has a really poor stock, or a strike to have a permanent fixed stock. And that's really cool and all, but if you're going to actually use this blaster in a Nerf war, I wouldn't recommend it because of the performance. I'm only getting about 35 to 40 feet, so I don't really recommend it for performance, but for the stock, if you're going to be, or adding it to your collection is also quite nice, so I don't recommend it for any of that, but for actual shell integration or adding it to your collection, then I do recommend it if you find it for like $3 or $4 at your Goodwill. That's the exact reason why I purchased this. I'm trying to grow a very big Nerf collection. I love Nerf, you guys didn't know. So I'm adding a Firefly to my collection as I don't have one. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, peace out.